You're watching Sipping Off the Cuff on tequilaaficionado.com, part of Tequila Aficionado Media. I'm Alex Perez here in Southern California with my buddy Miguelito.
Mike Morales here, also in Southern California, and dealing with my camera. But we're going to be okay. We're going to power through this. Alex, again, this is a red letter day for us because we are going to taste and dissect Tequila Ocho, and this is the first time since its inception that you and I have had a chance to do any of the vintages at all. We were very fortunate to have their PR company send these to us. Appreciate the Estes family, Jesse, and whoever else. Oh, and of course, Carlos Camarena,
Of course.
our close personal friend. This particular vintage is 2021. I don't know if you can see that on my camera, but it comes from El Padregal. I hope I'm pronouncing that correct.
Pedregal.
El Pedregal, and that is the estate, or the rancho, as they like to call it. Sometimes we call it a huerta. That is the field that this is coming from. So this is the vintage, and this is the Blanco. So everything you need to know is on this label: the vintage, who the master distiller is, what year, how many liters, I believe.
Nice.
So in the back, it'll tell you where the location is, but I really just want to dive into it and start nosing it, and as we go along, we have some stories that I'd like to pass along about Tom Estes. I don't think, Alex, you never met Tom, did you?
I never met Tom. I did get, obviously, we both know
Carlos
Camarena and family.
Yes.
But no, I actually, saddened in his passing, like you mentioned earlier. We were talking off camera. It's the anniversary of Thomas Estes passing.
Yeah, he passed away. I'll get a firm date, but it's the end of April. And a lot of folks had some wonderful things to say about him. I know it was all over Facebook and Instagram, and he touched a lot of people in a lot of ways.
Article in the New York Times. Yeah.
Yes. You can still find his obituary online, and I felt bad because I didn't spend a whole lot of time with him. I met him briefly at the rollout of Tapatio in Los Angeles, which is where I saw Carlos, and I ran into Forrest Coakley, who is a big rum and whiskey guy, and we've been associated, on Facebook for a long time. And he said, "Hey, have you ever met Tom Estes?" And I said, "No, but I know people that know him, and I know, of him." And so he introduced me to Tom. And first he says, "Have you ever had Ocho?" And I said, "No, I've never had it." And this was prior to the meeting. Yeah. And I knew it was going to be good. I mean, it's not like they didn't have to prove anything to me. It was just at what level is it going to be? How good is it going to be?
No, it's going to be good.
Yeah. So I got served a snifter, a small snifter of Ocho, that vintage. It was outstanding. I mean, and then I got to meet Tomas, and I spent really a great 20 minutes. And as we go along today, I'll pass along some very special things that he and I talked about just in 20 minutes. Some people have a lifetime with Tom. I had 20 minutes. So awesome. I just broke this open. I'm going to pour it in my Stasso Jarrito for tequila. This is an 80 proof, beautiful bubbles. And like I said, it's not like they ever have anything to prove to us. I mean, you guys who follow some of the people on Instagram and Facebook, there are a lot of people that go after the certain vintages, because every year, in fact, Tom and Carlos were the ones that rolled out the notion of vintages, very much like wine vintages and even mezcal vintages. And so not only is it different batches, but also different fields and different years. So, and once they're gone for, these plants are generally about 7 years old.
Yeah, it's very different from wine because you can't really duplicate it again, at least for another how many years?
Well, yeah, and
Because
then
once like you said, once the plants are gone, they're gone. So they really are the ones that introduced the whole terroir vintage designation for tequila.
yeah, and I'm so jazzed that we got this one in.
Wow. And I actually
Anyway, our labeling says that these were distilled at La Alteña, which is,
Right.
Tapatio. However, the newer vintages rolling out are being planted and distilled at the new distillery that Carlos is overseeing.
That's right.
And I think, if I'm not mistaken, Curado is coming from that distillery. They just opened the distillery too officially. I believe it was March. They had an official grand opening at the distillery. So all the new stuff will be coming out of that distillery and that gnome, but this one still comes out of La Alteña.
Alteña, right.
Which you and I have both been at. It's been several years since I've been to it, but
yeah, what a beautiful nose.
It's bright. It's everything you want it from a Highlands. I mean, oh my God.
You got the white pepper. I mean, the typical Blanco, but beautiful.
Well, when we say typical, we mean this is what a Highlands Blanco tequila needs to smell like.
This is the model.
It's the model, right? It's the standard where all the other Blancos want to be at, right?
The benchmark.
The benchmark, the standard, and
so it's herbaceous.
There I go again. I'm purple.
What?
I'm just gonna power through. Okay,
purple.
I'm just gonna power through, folks. I have no idea
This is a new vintage for Mike.
Yeah,
it's the purple vintage.
It's the purple vintage. I'm using my camera that Prince was using once. I'm sorry. I'm just going to power through, folks. Those of you listening to us on the podcast, don't worry about it. My screen is purple. It'll be fine. So
listen, the notes on the bottle, very interesting. You got in the nose, fresh sea salt, very herbaceous, sweet potato, grilled pear, roasted nuts, kale, fresh parsley, and white pepper.
Well, I don't know about any of that because I'm not, you and I have had the Blancos coming out of the Highlands, in that region, and they generally are a bit more vegetal,
Right.
To separate these out like that. We're going to have to dive in and taste it, actually.
Yeah. So that's where the herbaceous notes are coming from, but I'm going to go for it.
Yeah. Is yours opening up on your Glencairn?
It is.
Maybe what it is, it's just not opening up quick enough for me in the jarrito.
Mine's still like a little warm. Is yours a little warm?
Well, the alcohol is virtually non-existent. You really have to dig down into to sense any alcohol. So I think it just needs to be swirled. I know what I'm looking at as far as legs and tears are gorgeous.
Yeah, the tears and the legs are beautiful. Big tears. Yeah, the viscosity on this is amazing.
Oh yeah. And the legs and tears are sheeting naturally. They're not sticking to the glass, so there's nothing. The Camarenas and Carlos, and they're not gonna do anything funny with their tequila. They're just not gonna. They refuse.
No funny stuff. We should actually create a sticker for them that says "No funny stuff."
No funny stuff. Yeah,
Or they could forget the check mark. We could put the "No funny stuff" sticker.
That's right. No funny stuff. Oh, now it's opening up and it's deeper. More deeper fruit notes in it. Yeah. And that's at the bottom. At the bottom.
Yeah, it's
finally opening up.
Had you just opened your bottle up for the first time?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why. Same here.
Yeah. We just broke the seal off of these off camera not too long ago here. I say we do dive in because sometimes that'll help
dive in.
Put up a little bit. So here we go. Oh my. Wow. That was my first pass. I haven't had any tonight.
Me neither. That was
This
special.
is
That is special.
oh my goodness.
I got mint right at the beginning.
And then I got the vegetation, and then I almost got a hint of anise. And then
Yeah,
it's a fleeting, on the flavor, which normally I get in the nose. But I don't even trust my first pass. I'm gonna have to go through a second time here, but
Ooh, yes, anise on the retro.
yeah.
On the retro in the back.
Yeah, it didn't present itself up front. It was
Yeah.
more toward the rear of the palate.
Totally got it. Wow, this is something else.
This is so, I mean, this has got so much character in it. Don't bother with the cocktails, folks. I know that Alex is a cocktail guy. Generally speaking, when a Blanco tastes this with this much depth, I say forget it. Don't even. It's like some really good mezcals, even though they lend themselves very well to cocktails. I wouldn't do it with this thing. And by the way, what a finish!
It's got a medium long finish.
Medium to long finish, and it even coats the palate in more of that tropical fruit kind of. What does it say? Grilled pineapple on the flavor.
On the palate, it says tamarind.
Okay,
potato.
I get it. I buy that.
And it's grilled pear on the nose. But yeah, it's different. It's definitely a fruit.
Yes, it's a fruit. It's a tropical fruit for sure. And I'll go tamarind. I'll buy that.
I'll do tamarind.
Well, on the nose, we weren't getting the lime zest and lemon zest that we normally get in a Highlands, usually from a Totolico. And again, this being distilled in Arandas really does, that golden triangle, each of those cities does have a different terroir that once you've had enough of these, you can kind of pull out. But the depth and the character that I'm getting from the plant, oh my God.
Dry fruits.
Yeah. Which normally on a dried fruit, we don't get those until like añejos and extra añejos, right? In a barrel. Oh my God. And you're right. It's a herbaceous, like it mint or rosemary. It's like rosemary that I'm getting on the nose now that it's opened up a little bit.
Yes. I'm even getting like an olive.
An olive. I will go for that.
Olive.
One of the things that I just got a small potted hyacinth that's in full bloom, and hyacinth doesn't have that deep jasmine kind of perfumey, that really deep perfumey. It's more plant-like. It's going to attract bees anyway, regardless, right? But it smells more plant-like, more herbaceous than stuff that's supposed to smell perfumey, like we have right now in our backyard. We've got lemon blossoms, we have orange blossoms, and it's just wafting through the neighborhood, and it's so deep. And then we have a trellis here that's got jasmine, and there's not enough humidity to carry the depth of the jasmine, so we're getting just wind, and it's so good. But this hyacinth, this is more herbaceous and plant-like for me. The nose on this tequila, now that it's opened up for me.
Beautiful.
Oh, geez, Louise. I know I've got it here somewhere. I'm just going to go ahead and just nominate this.
Well, this is hands down.
Brand of Promise. You probably can't see that. It'll be purple and yellow on your screen, folks.
Definitely.
I'm sorry. I'm going to figure this out. Don't worry. I'll figure it out.
I don't even know if this would be probably a legacy.
Well, it has to be. No. This is a legacy single estate. This is legacy single estate vintage. I mean, this is so above and beyond any of the categories that we've had. And you know what, Alex? This is the way tequilas used to be.
This is
We
old
didn't
school.
have vintages. Nobody was doing the idea of vintage was beyond anything that's ever been done. And this is how they used to grow agave for regular tequila, like for El Tesoro, for Tapatio. This was standard operating procedure back in the day, we're going to celebrate our 24th year in existence here in July. And we've been doing this for 23 years. And this is just old school tequila, man, as far as I'm concerned.
No, this is amazing. This is, beautiful.
So delightful.
And kudos to Don Camarena, because
Don Carlos is keeping the legacy alive, man.
exactly, with all the pressure from industry and all the crap going on about additives, etc., he's never wavered. Him and his associates in this case have never wavered from keeping quality, no matter the cost.
Yeah. Again, if you folks have not had curado, again, that was one of two of the last ideas from Tomas Estes, as people know him. And wow, now that this is still my first pour. Now that it's opened up, it's even sweeter on the palate now. It's like I'm getting the sweetness.
Yeah.
And I'm not even sure where this sweetness is coming from. I can't place it. It's been so long, my palate now and my experience now wasn't what it was then. Then we were newbies. We were just nobody was doing what we were doing, drinking online, and we were doing it on audio years and years ago. And the depth now that we have the descriptors and the experience to be able to describe this even more accurately than we did 20 some odd years ago, it's amazing. Oh my gosh.
Beautiful.
Wow.
These are collectibles. So I've had the privilege of actually picking up a 2016 bottle.
And you can see that clearly on Alex's screen. So, go ahead and show that. No, I mean,
this was Los Patos.
What vintage was it?
2016.
And it is from where?
Los Patos.
Los Patos, okay.
And then
what's the other one you have?
And the other one I have is 2017, Las Águilas.
See, and I can't even remember what it was that I mentioned that I did meet Tomas Estes when they rolled out Tapatio in LA. And that was my first meeting and my one and only meeting with Tom. And I'll discuss that as we go along on the line here.
This is a low bottle too, 6,508.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna bother looking, because folks, at this point, with this kind of quality, just be happy you got a bottle. You know what I mean? Who cares if you got an earlier line in the bottle? Great, God bless you. But get one to buy and one to hang on to.
That's right.
That's if you're a collector, you guys know what to do with this. And pay whatever. I don't even know what kind of price point we've got. Do you, Alex? Do you have any idea?
You know what? Some stores don't know what they have, and don't know what this is. But
are you kidding me? Are you kidding?
No, I've seen this at anywhere between $30 to $55.
$30? Wow! If you find it for 30, find a whole lot.
Yes.
Just back up your truck.
I've seen supermarkets sometimes that have discontinued, or they'll get these bottles that aren't normally in their set. And what they'll do is they'll discount it. And so the key here is to get in good with the liquor person.
Yes.
And let them know, hey, do you ever have any direct bottles that are sent to you? Because what happens is, let me give you an example. Ralph's will have this stuff that's sold into their warehouse, and they'll just automatically ship them to their stores. You don't order it as a liquor manager. They'll just automatically ship it because they want to distribute it. You get it and you're like, okay, what am I supposed to do with this? You can pretty much put whatever price you want on it. So if you've got a liquor manager that knows you and knows you like this type of stuff, and they don't have any room for it, they'll discount it for you.
I'm gonna go run. We have one Ralph's in this town. And normally I don't go to liquor stores because like you, Alex, we've got enough booze on our floor, that there's no need for us. And I was talking to a gentleman the other day, on Sunday, and he said, now that I see a Total Wine near my office, he goes, I have to go in, and it's like the way it used to be for us. It's like going into a B. Dalton booksellers. You would go in there just to read the book and sit there and you do it for research.
Sure.
I don't go there to buy, but when you can get a sale, and one of our other TJs just texted me before we came online, he says, you're not going to believe what my son found. And I go, well, back up your truck because that's a find.
What did he find?
Well, he found a tequila he and I did together. And it
Oh,
was
okay.
cool. And they were clearing it out for $18. It's like, really?
Oh, buy it all.
And the reposado was like 27. It's like, oh my God, just tell your son to back up the truck and then load up the Blancos, because the Blancos is stellar,
Like what they'll do, what these supermarkets will do is they'll do a reset. They'll do a reset of their shelving. And that means taking stuff out that they no longer can put in their set.
Right.
Right. So they'll usually will close that stuff out. So if you get there at the right time, or if you know when they're having a reset, they'll have all that stuff in a cart that they'll discount for 30, 40, 50% off.
Yeah. Yeah. And if they know you, they'll call you first.
So you can probably get one of these for $20.
Ah, killing me. And by the way,
I think I paid $20 for this one.
I think you didn't you give me, because you asked me if I'd ever had it. I was at your place. We were judging or something. And so off camera, he goes, well, have you ever had Ocho? And I go, yeah, once when I met Tom, but I haven't had one since. So you poured me some, and then you told me what you did, how you got it.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my God, I'm getting more vegetal now. Now that it's opened up even more, and I'm getting more of that. Didn't you say it was like not rhubarb, but it's like some kind of green vegetation? There's on the label.
Herbaceous, earthy nose, tamarind, cooked agave, dry fruits. On the nose, it was fresh parsley.
That's it. Parsley.
Sweet potato, grilled pear, roasted nuts.
I could say parsley and nuts, but you really, folks, you got to spend time with it. You got to sit there and do what we did for 20 minutes. Your screen turns purple or not. But anyway, but stick with us, folks. That's our take on this Ocho Blanco from this vintage 2021 El Padrigal. You can't, am I pronouncing that correctly? You can't see it, but you'll see it on Alex's screen. Stick with us. Purple or not, we're going to power through this. We have a reposado and an añejo that we were kind enough to get from these folks. I'm so glad that they did, because when we go through the reposado, I'll give you my story of when I met Tomas Estes and spent only 20 minutes with him.
Awesome.
And I can tell you, it's one of the deeper 20 minutes I've ever spent with any human being. And I've spent 23 years with Alex. It took me 20 minutes to get what you and I have had in our 23-year span. He did it in 20 minutes.
Wow.
And without even trying. And that's just who the guy was. I mean, literally, I tell you what, if he had a frock and a Roman collar, he would probably be considered a saint. But I think he'd be the first one to tell you he was not a saint. But anyway, that's our take on Ocho Tequila. Again, Alex, show it to folks. If your folks are watching us on YouTube or are listening to us on the podcast, don't forget to subscribe. Hit the notification bell. Give us a like. Tell us which varietal and which huerta, which field you like yours.
Vintage.
Which vintage. Leave us a comment down below. And Alice, go ahead and take us home, man.
Yeah, and let us know if you find the vintage somewhere. We'll go get it.
What you paid for it, especially for Southern California, right? But
thanks for watching. Yeah,
take us home, Alex.
Yeah, thanks for watching, and as always, sip wisely.